Hey guys, so right now we are about to call our mortgage holder, the holder of my loan, and call them and to talk about recasting this mortgage. Recasting is a term that I just learned about, and I'm going to come back later and we'll talk more about exactly what that is. So first, let's make this phone call. While we're on hold, let me break out and tell you exactly what recasting a loan is, okay? So in one of my more recent videos, I talked about having budget burnout, finance burnout, just being bored with my money and kind of not feeling as motivated as I had been to pay off this mortgage early, which a lot of you will find, like when you have debt and it's like big amounts of debt and it's going to be a whole journey to pay it off, like years and years and years, you don't get that instant gratification, right? So we try to find instant gratification through benchmarks, setting up benchmarks for ourselves, reaching milestones, things like that. And for the first few years, they worked. Now I reached this other milestone of finally being under $200,000 and nothing happened. I did not feel excited. I did not feel motivated. I did not feel energized or reinvigorated. And that's why I was like, oh, I made this huge milestone, but I'm feeling kind of like blah. I'm so bored with this journey. I'm so done with this journey. And I want to start acting like I'm mortgage free now, even though I'm not. That's basically what it boils down to, right? I want to get my paycheck and I want to spend it in them streets. And so thank you all so much for all of you who gave me awesome advice. Everybody gave me awesome advice. Everybody was so supportive, so understanding, everything. I loved it. Thank you guys so much. One piece of advice in particular, Money Talks with Jonathan Thomas. He has a YouTube channel. That's his YouTube channel name. He actually is, I believe he's in the real estate industry or mortgage professional. I believe he's in that industry from what I remember, what I can gather from his videos. He also talks, clearly Money Talks, right? So he actually threw that out there about, did I have my loan recasted? And he basically was like, financially bored, first of all. Yep. People don't speak about the fatigue of the journey. That's exactly what it is, the fatigue. You know, like when you have something smaller to pay off, let's say $5,000 or $10,000 or $1,000, you can see the ending in sight. You can see the end in sight. When you're trying to pay off hundreds of thousands of dollars of something, the end is somewhere over there in the future. So we try to play a lot of games to keep ourselves motivated. But y'all, there comes a time where games are just, you get bored, you get tired of them. So that's where I am right now. So it's like, oh, making all these payments, but good gracious. And so he says, call your lender and ask them to reforecast the loan. And that should help with your interest, with the interest you're seeing. And I'm all like, reforecast, what that mean? And so what it is reforecasting is recasting. And what that basically means is that for a small fee, the battery about to die. For a small fee, anywhere from $500 and below, for a small fee, your bank will recast your loan and it's not going to change your interest. So your interest is going to stay the same. So if you have a low interest, that's a good thing. It's not going to change the terms of your loan. But what it's going to do is give you a smaller loan payment, right? So right now, if I'm paying $1,536 a month, that $1,536 was based off of that when I refinanced $321,000 of that loan. Now that we have the loan at like $198,000, I get to recast it off of that price and see what the payments would be. So the payments would drop, right? And therefore, you may see a correlation in the interest that you pay on the loan dropping as well, which is what I'm interested in. But again, we don't know until we do it. Like, I can't tell you exactly what it would be till I have, this is what it was, this is what it is, and let's compare them numbers. But here's the key. The key is if my mortgage is $1,536, even though they recast it and now they say, oh girl, you only got to pay $800 a month, I will still pay that $1,536 because that has been one of my strategies in paying this loan down. That with every time that I refinance, I still pay my original payment. The difference would be that extra payment now where you see it's my mortgage payment, but now you see it when I say this is the extra that I sent to my mortgage. So I always have a minimum extra. Right now, my minimum extra is $800 because that $800 is what I saved in refinancing. So now I move that so that every month, even though it's $1536, I set a minimum of $800 and beyond. So I would do the same. If I recast and they say $800, I will still treat it as if I'm paying the $1536 plus the $800. Right? Because again, what's the point of making a lower payment when my whole goal is to pay this house off fast? So I'm not treating it as if, oh, a lower payment means I only got to pay this. But of course, in times of hardship, if that's all you have to pay, it behooves you. That's an awesome thing. So we're going to see what they say. That's what recasting is. There's some advantages. There's some disadvantages. I don't even remember what the disadvantage was. It really isn't a disadvantage, in my opinion, unless you're just not that disciplined with your money. But anytime you can make a lesser payment and that can help you restructure your finances, by all means, do it. Do it. Hi, I had a very specific question recarding my loan. I wanted to know if I was eligible to recast my loan.
Okay. And as far as recasting the loan, was that just to try to get the monthly payment lowered for you?
Yes.
Or okay.
Are there any other reasons why people recast?
So I was just kind of verifying. Typically, that would be the reason, but definitely just wanted to confirm that. We would like to take a look to see what other options we may have available to lower your payment. Besides taking a look at recasting, of course, that's always an option. Okay, because with our benefit assessment tool, what this will allow us to do is take a look, see if we have an option to lower the payment other than the recasting option. Now, of course, if we don't have any options available, then what I can do is transfer you directly to our servicing team who can help with the recasting process.
Okay.
There's no cost to you, no impact on credit. It's just to take a look, see if there is, another option to lower your monthly payment. And all that I am required to do is just what's called a soft credit inquiry. So again, it's not having any sort of impact on your score.
Okay. I'm not sure if I have my credit frozen, so not sure if that'll work, but okay, you're welcome. You're free to try.
And as far as the cash out, again, you said you weren't really interested in that option. With the cash out options, we do have it would allow you to, tap into any sort of equity that you have. If you had any sort of outstanding debts that you'd like to see paid off, remember your monthly budget.
Yep, only debt I have is this house.
All right, well, as of right now, it does look like you are currently in the best position that you can be in at this time. Just to make you aware, if the option ever does come available to where you are tapping into equity, I'd just like to make you aware of how much you have at least in there. It looks like you have roughly around $560,000 in equity to tap into as of right now.
All right, thank you.
Please hold while we transfer you to a customer care representative.
So with making these phone calls, one thing you got to do is have some time. When I don't be having time, that's when I be having attitude like I called you, I asked for what I asked for. Stop all this extracurricular talking. But I'm on a work break right now. So.
Thank you. How can I help?
I wanted to inquire about recasting the loan.
Okay. So for the recast, I have to connect to the loss mitigation department. Just a moment, please.
I don't understand why this would be loss mitigation. When I was dealing with the other property, in that whole process with the damage to the property and the payout of the property, the loss mitigation department is who I worked with as far as when it came to holding funds in escrow until inspections were completed. So interesting that this is the department that deals with recasting. Oh, hello. I was calling regarding recasting my mortgage.
Okay, no problem. I can definitely help you with that. Let me just, thank you. What is the last four?
You said the last four?
Yes. I know there's
your phone is breaking up.
Can you hear me? I'm sorry. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can.
Okay, I'm sorry. So I just have to put in I have to put in a request to do this. I just got to figure out what request I need to put in.
And can you tell me anything about it? Like, are there any fees associated?
So let's see. It says, are there any requirements? The loan must be current. The lump sum payment must be 10% of the unpaid principal balance with a minimum of $5,000. There's a one-time fee of $250 to process the loan recast. A written request from the customer is needed to begin the recast process. That's what I needed. Okay. So it says if the borrower sends in written request along with a lump sum payment and recast fee, so there are no delays in processing the recast.
Now, let me ask you this. I already sent lump sum payments. So
Okay.
So I don't think I should have to send lump sum payments again, because within the past 2 months I sent over $60,000.
Okay, so then that would probably be fine, yes. So then, has anybody told you to write in a written letter saying this is what you want to do?
No, that's why I'm calling you to find out what I need to do.
Okay. So that's the next step. So, let me get, there was a fax number it gave me to send you to have you send that to. Hold on.
Is there an email in lieu of fax?
I bet it's my loss mitigation, but let me see. Where's my other sheet at? My telephone numbers. Let me make sure I don't do what it specifically said. Yeah, I would send it to, just write an email just saying you're trying to recast your loan, and then tell them that you sent in. Do you know the date that you sent in that, or was it a couple different lumps?
Yeah, it was different lumps. Like last month was $5,000. The month before that was like $33,000. The month before that was like $27,000.
Yes, I see that, $5,000. Okay, so just maybe put from. Oh my gosh, have you been doing it for a while now?
I have, and I didn't know anything about recasting the loan.
Okay, so just tell them that over the last so often you've been sending in lump sums, which I think if you've been sending in those lump sums, let me see, can you tell where they're going?
They go to my principal.
Yeah, okay, so like an extra 5,000 went to your principal. Yep, 27. Yeah, I would just put in there. You've been sending in extra payments for the last, so often, or just put the total amount like you said. You've sent over how much?
Okay. Yes.
I thought you said 60,000.
Yeah, it would have been like about 65,000.
Yeah.
And some change.
Yeah, and it's been since, you've been doing it since 2021, since I can see.
Oh yeah, since
as far as back as your loan goes back, so yeah.
Yeah. All right, so I have another question. Are there certain loan types that don't qualify for recasting?
Recast, not limit, FHA, VA, USDA guidelines do not allow for a recast for a loan. So FHA, VA, and USDA.
Okay, they don't allow for recasting.
And you have a VA, don't you?
I do.
So you might not be able to. It doesn't hurt to ask, though. I mean, the least they can do is tell you no.
That's true.
Awesome.
All right.
Okay, well, thank you very much. You have a great rest of your day.
All right, thank you. Bye-bye.
No problem. Thanks. Bye.
Yo. Okay, so why? All right, so first of all, clearly I did a bunch of Googles and did a bunch of reading, and so therefore that's why I knew what questions to ask, such as what loan types can be recasted, because I did read that FHA and VA loans could not be recasted, and my loan is a VA loan. But like she said, it doesn't hurt to ask. I like to get clear no's and not just internet no's. You know what I mean?